If you've ever been married and it's your second marriage, you're not married to that person. You're still married to your first person. Yes, until that person is deceased.
Over 130 laboratory studies, very carefully controlled, over half of which show statistically significant findings that prayer does something to make living things healthier. So if you go into the laboratory, you can show that people can pray for something that's on the other side of the earth, and it works. And that prayers can reach backwards into the past, and they can reach forward into the future. This shows us that there's some aspect of the human psyche that is what we call independent in space and time. This suggests that there's something about us that is infinite in space and time, which is to say it's omnipresent, it's immortal, and it's eternal. If this is not the divine within, you could fool me. I think it's a dead ringer for empirical, indirect evidence that there is something of the divinity within every human being.
Never try to defend yourself against a narcissist. They already know you're right. They just want you to go crazy trying to prove it. That's their whole intention. That's what makes them feel worthy. By you going crazy, by the attention that you're giving them, that's what they feed off. So don't ever try to defend yourself. In my opinion, you leave. That's the answer. Leave.
I seen this post that said our parents never asked for as many breaks as these new parents ask from their kids. And I feel like our parents didn't have to. They had plenty breaks. We was either outside all day for hours, riding bikes for blocks, okay? Just outside the entire day. Or we was at our cousin's house for days at a time. Family is not what it used to be. These kids will not just go spend days, weeks with their cousin. Our parents had a lot of breaks. And I feel like grandma's was way more grandma-y back then. Like, of course you can bring all the kids to grandma's house, but she wasn't gonna do shit but sit there and watch stories and smoke cigarettes all day. These new grandmas are outside. And times are just different. Like back in the day, you could bring all the kids to one house. Big kids watch the small kids watch the smaller kids. The adults tell us, don't answer the door, don't answer the phone, we'll be back. They come back, everybody safe, everybody good. We done had a ball the whole day. You cannot leave a group of kids in the house by themselves no more. Like, times are just different. I'm so glad we was really the last generation that had like a really amazing childhood. I feel bad for these kids now, but it's just different.
You all have this on your phone to show your friends. You may be in a disingenuous situation, maybe a disadvantaged area. You may be in a bad school. Your parents may not have money. Your dad may not be at home. I understand all those things. That's where my brother and I are from, and we've conquered the entire world, and you can do absolutely anything. Do not let them tell you that you're disadvantaged. Do not let them tell you because of your skin color you can't be amazing. Don't let them tell you you can't get ahead in your life. It is all a lie. If you work hard, you can be anything you want to be.
One thing you have to understand about a spiritual person is the fact that we can smile at you and commence war against the demons in you all at the same time. We can stand there and laugh with you, and you never know that we're praying the whole time you're talking. We're God's secret army, and we are here to commence war against every demonic force. Never play with a spiritual person, because they're always seeing a lot further than where you are in that moment. Our eyes and our spirit has already traveled to where it's getting ready to lead to. We can recognize you the moment you walk up to us. Within a few seconds, we've already identified and discerned what's working at hand. Just a warning, God's army will never be taken out.
I'm going to keep it real with you.
Hey, man.
Because I knew bitches go man to man, money go hand to hand.
You did.
But when I got a wife, you get a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
And I just didn't get no wife. I built my wife.
Exactly.
I gave her a cash register that they'll never stop ringing.
Hey, I bear you witness.
You know what I'm saying? When I came home from the penitentiary, I gave her a cash register that didn't never stop ringing, and you're a witness to it.
I bear total witness to it.
You did? I come to the game. I left the game after that conversation with my mother. I never broke another law.
Wow.
I ain't broke a law in 30 years.
Wow.
I don't break laws.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But I found something to replace the game that I thought I was missing.
Scientific laboratories have studied this technique, and they saw that it started the process of reprogramming your own DNA. Write down 9 affirmations about yourself. 3 times a day, you're going to speak them out loud, and you're going to do that for 6 days in a row. The numbers there, 3, 6, 9. What did Nikola Tesla say about 3, 6, and 9? If you can understand that, you will understand the secrets of the universe. 369 is just a magical combination. You're speaking out loud, you're creating a cymatic frequency. Human beings are 70% water. The water is picking up on that resonant frequency that's also backed by conscious thought. And now your body and your cells are resonating at a specific frequency based on the conscious thought and those affirmations. So you're going to repeat it over and over again. And by the 4th week, your DNA is completely reprogrammed according to actual mainstream science.
Many people are waking up and they're seeing shadow people. Pretty soon you'll be seeing shadow people as you go down the street. Don't become frightened. Simply means that your higher vibrations now are kicking in, and the spectrum outside of the 12 spectrum site we have, you begin to look out the corner of your eye, because that's when you go into a different spectrum. That's why you always see them out the corner of your eye, especially when you wake up in the morning, because you're coming back into your body, by the way. You die every night, by the way. So don't worry about it. You're going to die tonight. Look forward to it. You will, and you will. And that's where it's supposed to be. That's why when you ascend in harmony, you just wake up one day and it's all cool. But we've got to fear that because we don't know we die every night and look forward to it. And you cross to those spectrums where they exist every night. That's what they call 4th dimension. And that's when you see the old hag. Some people wake up and they got those hags sitting on their chest. They can't breathe. I felt like a wizard. That's because the pressure of your soul body coming back in was not quite seated. Let me explain the witch's ride right quickly, the old hag right quickly, and the extra dimension that you go through right quickly. You're like on the bottom of a pyramid, only the pyramid has been built on top of you. So when you lie in your bed at night, there's a pyramid that's been built on top of you. And the pyramid has 7 dimensions. The top dimension actually goes into an area that you might call air. The base of it is in what you might call an ocean of matter. And you're beneath all of it. So when your id or spirit, or what they call the ka, comes out of it, it goes through that 1st dimension into all the shrimp and the crustacea and the crab and everything that are on the bottom of that ocean. You got to go through that. But then as you float up, you become lighter until finally you become like, what do they call it, sea anemones and flying fish. If you're a flying fish, it's really good because you can leap out of the water into the air. Well, you can not only can do that, but if you can really get through all of it, you can leap out of all the corpuscular energy, or what they call matter, into the air. And then you're in what they call now astral flight. And you're flying all over the place. But when you come back in again, you come down from the flight up there, all the way back in, down to the bottom of there, and just before you cross over into what your body has now become, you wake up. And you wake up before you're completely reconnected. And in not being reconnected, you wake up too soon, so you're not back in your body, you're in free space, and you can't scream and you can't move, and you say, but nothing's coming out, and you go completely panicking. And the old hag said, we got us one now. And the other one says, we got us one now. And you're screaming, and then finally you wake up and you said, I had a nightmare. My God. Well, sometimes you can have daymares. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you might not even get a mare. You might get a stallion, you know. How about sex classes? So there you are. All you did is you woke up too soon, because every time you go out of your body, you travel. It's just that when you get good at it and transfer your memory, you are aware of where you're traveling.
The human body is the temple of God. The temple of God is heaven. Heaven is the cellular and celestial levels of divinity within us. We got to understand the technologies of the English language. God wasn't a spell or vibration used to express ourselves. The time of awakening passed already. It's time to start erecting communities and institutions on the basis of what we know. We know the value of holisticness. We know that we can heal ourselves according to the principalities of nature. I just got to get this out the way. Let me talk my shit. I ain't forget about the aura. I'm gonna get to it. The thing is, we ready. We just haven't figured out the structure yet. This shouldn't be nothing new. This is how they do us. From Rashad Jamal, Dr. York, the 13th son, the goal is to limit and control. When somebody start waking up the Elohim, or the so-called Titan or Anunnaki, they get scared. They already know who you are. You ain't got to say it. It's only when you begin to act and move accordingly to who you are is when they'll begin to bow their heads. I just had to get that out the way real quick. One of the spirit